Mi Casa, the name of our studio, says it all in a way, because Mi Casa means my house, and actually we're in my house, and this is really a home theater, a very high quality home theater that really sort of emulates where people are going to be listening to this DVD. And what we do here basically is convert the theatrical soundtrack to a DVD soundtrack.
Now with 7, New Line and David Fincher said, let's take this one step further. Let's back up before the step of the final mix for the theatrical print, and let's actually remix the movie for DVD and make the mix as best as it can be for the home theater platform.
All the sound stages in movie theaters are set up to a curve called the X curve, which was sort of defined in the early 70s, and has quite a bit of a roll-off starting at about 2.5K. It starts to go away.
One of our jobs here at Mikasa is to re-equalize the film soundtrack or the stems themselves to compensate for this equalization. The way we went about it was we took the pre-existing stems, as they're called, of dialogue elements, ambience elements, effects elements, and music elements. Each one of those about 6 tracks wide. So we're looking at about 24 tracks of stems, and had them transferred from their analog masters to digital 24-bit 48K.
Like they say, it's the sound of silence. When you hear something coming off the mag, an analog mag, print master, for example, you actually hear the sound of the medium. What the Cedar system does in the SATI digital audio workstation is we actually build a algorithm of the noise. We take a noise sample and we build an algorithm of it, and then we apply it at 180 degrees if we were talking in the analog world, but we actually apply this algorithm.
Noise snapshot, you might call it.
Yeah, noise snapshot, and we apply it in reverse and actually only remove the noise and not the audio. It's a kind of a magical thing.
It was interesting when we got into the mixing, and the second time that Wren and Fincher came back to take a listen to our mix, I mean, they sat with a piece of paper and a pencil and, made some notes on, okay, at this scene, bring the footsteps down, maybe a little more rain in the rears here.
Left rear, right rear.
Through the center.
We have left, center, right, and subwoofer, all discrete.
That's the 5.1
That's
platform.
the 5.1 platform.
And then it all of a sudden occurred to Wren Kleiss that, I never got to fix this little thing in the theatrical mix. Could we fix that? Of course we can. We're going through this again. Oh, and there's also this water droplet effect. Can we add that?
Off a guy's hat.
Sure, we can do that too.
The guy's in the rain and there's water on his hat. And he goes down like that and you hear the water ploop. It's kind of a strange generic disc, but it has every format on it so that basically it covers the entire territory and really allows the film to develop its full potential no matter what format and what playback system you have at home.
Dolby 5.1, DTS 5.1, the LTRT, which is the fold down of the 5.1, and the two 5.1 playbacks can be decoded into 6.1 using EX or ES decoding. Doing that, we went through and looked at the ambient stems and the effect stems and tried to find things that we could actually enhance by putting them into a center rear channel.
For example, the flyby in the end of the helicopter,
yes,
which now really moves. You feel it moving around the room.
It comes off, it's off the right rear, through the center, over to the left rear, or is it left rear or right rear? I'm not sure.
You guys find it in the movie.
You guys find it in the movie. But there's some other scenes where there's effects of some, it sounds like butterfly flapping or scissors cutting, and they're flying all around your head. We went in and edited them and put them in the center rear channel and the left rear channel, right rear channel, and actually gave the
more rain in the rear.
Gave the center rear, not to be confused with the center front, but gave the center rear some information that was unique to itself, as opposed to just smearing the original stereo rear across the back.
What exactly was the point of
the telecine process we used for this was transferred on a Spirit data cine, which is a 2K telecine machine, so we can spit out high definition signal and high definition pictures. The color corrector we used was a Da Vinci 2K color corrector.
The older transfer of 7 employed the bleach bypass process, and you're able to see that because it holds up on the DVD in terms of the bit rate. The newer transfer employs the Spirit, Datacine, and D5, which are high definition formats, and that quality is, many times over better than trying to record the images in standard definition, and that relates to the contrast and the range and the sharpness and the resolution and the picture quality.
The high definition 2K color corrector has the same kind of capabilities that the normal standard definition color correctors do, which is they have these things called power windows, which will allow us to isolate certain areas of the picture that we could brighten or darken. And we also have the ability to isolate color by hue, saturation, and luminance levels. So it gives us much more creative control. It gives the director much more creative control over what he would like his pictures to look like, much more so than he would just strictly as film timing for his feature projected in a theater. David and I spent a lot of time together just working on some shots that maybe he wasn't quite as happy with when they actually shot it on the set, that he wasn't able to affect that much in the film timing process. But in the video, we'd fix everything. We'd fix every color that's there, and darken hot spots that bugged him, or brighten certain areas that he wanted it to be shown a little bit more.
By being able to use the Spirit Datacine, which is a high definition system, and having the original negative on top of that, which is giving you first generation quality, and being able to master to a high def stock, and working digitally in high definition to remove all the dirt, and then being able to use a very advanced system of the Panasonic down converter to convert to the standard definition D1 16:9 letterbox version. You have a process that's just as far superior.
As far as our video transfer goes, all the problems that you would have in projection, like weave, side to side weave that comes with films, that's just inherently in any projection system with film, or the grain, or the splices going by, all those things are eliminated in the video transfer. It's just a much sharper, cleaner image, still retaining the look and the feel of the movie, but it's just like a much more kind of pleasing to the eye type image than you would if you saw it at a theater. Well, the original negative, using original negative, is very, very unusual for a feature mastering process, for several reasons. Number one is when you're using original cut negative, we're very concerned about the splices breaking or damaging the original element, which would be a real big disaster, obviously.
To tell you the truth, David was very futuristic about the possibilities of getting involved with electronics and not using necessarily photochemical processes to preserve the negative.
Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world is a fine place and worth fighting."
Okay, so now that we've been talking about all this technical stuff and telecine, let me just show you exactly what I do and how we transfer the film to videotape.